Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to work with a mallet, and you can also use a normal hammer, but that doesn't work that well. And what is different to normally when you do this method is that it's a dry background. Normally when you watch other videos like from Anne Osborne on this method, the background is wet. I made this with a red metallic color, which I mixed already with some gloss because I want to leave it like that. Make sure that you have some support underneath when you're going to hit it, because otherwise you're probably going to have a dent in the canvas. Of course, wood also works very nicely on this. You don't need a lot of paint, so you can use some rests, preferably some colors that go well together because they're going to mix when you hit it. But at the end you can do it with whatever you want. So let's see how it works out with a dry background. Another thing you should consider is where do you do that, because of course the splash is gonna go all over the place. If you have a rather small canvas, you can put it in a box with some high walls. I put up some plastic at the sides, or if it doesn't matter for you, just go for it. I think that on a dry background it doesn't distribute properly because it's not really splashing, so it looks for me almost like it needs to be wet. Yeah, it's going to become rather abstract, but not the real Hammer Technik look. So I'm not too sure what to do with it now. So make sure if you have a wet background and that works better, make sure to always clean this, because otherwise you're going to mix the colors. I still have some paint that is rather similar to the background, so I'm gonna put that there and see if I can construct a wet background. I think this is even too thin. The layer should be a bit thicker when you hit it. At least that's what I would expect here. But you can see already what it does much more. It does much more go in all directions. I'm not saying you can't make anything nice of it, so that's not what but it's just gonna look very different. So now to still make this work, because it is kind of cool abstract, I'm gonna put a thin layer of one color underneath that it spreads properly with the spatters, with the splashes, and then put the others on top of it. Right. So here I'm gonna use some white. Well, this is not actually white, it's pearled, so it's transparent. There is no silicone in these colors, but what you're gonna see happen is cells anyway, simply because of the hammering it and the air and the lacing. This is more lacing than cells. Okay, this is more like it, but you can also see where it went all the way around. But yeah, so you can make it work on a dry background as long as you add a thin layer of something more volume as a base. But you will see more here, the middle, you see, yeah, you see the hammer print. So let's see if I can edit that a bit. Just keep working on it and see where you can get it. You can also just take your finger, for example, and make some funny little lines or anything that the middle doesn't look so stiff. I think this is missing something, this part. But I also don't want to make it too full, because yeah, if you have that all over the space, it doesn't look abstract at all anymore. Like this here with a bit of paint here and there and the splashing red background. I think it's really cool actually. So I should eventually have some opaque white here. And some more gold, tiny bit of black. Oops! That was very enthusiastic, so it's all over the room now, because of course here is one open. So hit it, but be gentle. So sometimes when you look at it too much during processing it, you keep touching and touching and touching it until it's yeah, not okay at all anymore. So now I feel like I should add something here, and perhaps that's not good enough. But take a step back. You can always add something. Even if it's dry, you can, like you saw here, again go over it, but don't overdo it. So I think this is gonna be really cool. And there are some cells, there are some spots, some cool spots, and with the red background it just looks cool. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I hope you got some inspiration out of that and something you want to try yourself. You can try, as you see, with a dry background that you already created and prepared before. It's eventually a little easier if it's wet, but then also the colors is gonna mix more. So if you have colors that don't go well together, like red and purple, you're gonna also have some mud in there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a look at my Facebook or Instagram for the final paintings, and I hope to see you back soon.